The old building looks like a haunted mansion. The bars on the windows reveal its true purpose. The three-story Beauregard Parish Jail is turning 100 years old. So is the courthouse next door. Police Jury President Gary Crow is now the keeper of the key to the old jail. The Gothic-style building has been empty for the past 30 years, since it was shut down by a federal judge.
It was used till 1984, when Judge Polizzola declared it unfit for habitation.
There is a basement with an underground passageway.
This is the tunnel, and when the tunnel was built, they used the tunnel to transport prisoners from the jail to the courthouse without having to take them outside.
The jail was originally built to house 13 prisoners, but was expanded with more bunks to increase the inmate population to 48.
When they came in, they got a blanket, and that was it. They got no pillow, they got no mattress, just a blanket. And they were rolled up in a blanket and slept on these slats. Most of the time, if there was a fight, the jailer just brought a water hose in and watered them down, just wet the whole thing down.
This jail is best known for an incident that happened in the 1920s following the brutal murder of a cab driver. Two men, Joe Jenna and Moulton Brasseau, were charged with the murder.
At trial, they were found guilty and sentenced to be hanged.
The jail's executions took place in 1928. Two men were hanged on the same day, right here in the jail's three-story spiral staircase.
They built a gallows across the top of these rails right here.
The sheriff, 3 deputies, the coroner, and several members of the jury stood around the narrow platform. A dumbwaiter for delivering food was used for the hanging.
The trigger mechanism was somehow put in the dumbwaiter to trigger the trapdoor on the gallows.
When the courthouse clock struck 1 p.m., the executions began.
Had steps walking up onto the gallows right here, and they walked out of that cell one at a time up on the gallows. And they said they put the rope around their neck, and the hangman was over there, and he just pulled the trigger and dropped them through the trapdoor.
Because of that one incident, the building is now known as the hanging jail. But for Gary Crow, it holds a different meaning.
I got married in this old jail on Friday the 13th, about 55 years ago.
Crow's bride had grown up in the living quarters of the jail. Her father was the jailer, and her mother the cook.
This was the living room. This is where the wedding happened.
Crow and his wife would occasionally stay here when the in-laws needed a little time off. And as you might expect, there are stories of this old hanging jail being haunted.
Well, I spent a lot of nights here, and if there's any ghost here, I don't know about it.
But as you walk behind the bars and up the narrow, dark stairway, your imagination comes alive. With the heart of Louisiana, Dave McNamara, Fox 8 News.